What is up, everyone? You know who I am, Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah. And you watch this show, you know that it's Funko time. It's Funko time. Oh, yes, it's Funko time. Hell yeah. And I got something a little special for you guys. Check it out. Beta Ray Bill. Corbin. That's his planet. Corbin Knight. Cyborg. And the story I like is probably the one in the Avengers cartoon where he was taking care of his people and they made him into a cyborg in order to kind of protect them. He gets tangled up with Thor. He's able to lift the hammer. And he's proved worthy and he gets the powers of Thor. Now, initially, Thor was going to give him the hammer, but they end up making his own hammer called Stormbreaker. You can check it out right there. And Beta Ray Bill has basically the powers of Thor, the whole lightning and everything like that. And it's interesting because my co-host Magnus, he says the Beta Ray Bill is kind of like a jobber. And if you don't know, a jobber is someone that does the job in wrestling, the guy who loses professionally. You know, he's the loser. He's like the Brooklyn Brawler or Coco Beware. You know what I'm saying? Or Dolph Ziggler in the higher mid-card level, if you know what I mean. And let's see, he's been in a few cartoons. And he had a big appearance in Planet Hulk, where Hulk just beat the brakes off of him in the cartoon. I mean, he beat the ever-loving hell out of him. And I think that's what Magnus means, that this guy kind of gets his butt kicked a lot for being, or having the powers of Thor, and also being a cyborg. But, you know, like certain characters get a bad rep, you know, it's what you want to think, you know. And he actually made his appearance back in the Bronze Age, like in the 80s, 83. I do believe it was Thor 337, somewhere around there. So he's been around for a while. And during the 90s, he got like a surge because they were doing like the Thor Corps, where they had like a younger Thor, and then they had like the guy that was Thor for a while, Stormbreaker, whatever he was, you know, basically Eric Madsen being Thor, and then and Thor came back, and then he became a semi-Thor, like Thunderstrike or something like that. The mythology of Thor is kind of gets a little confusing with him dying and then his human form taking, like I said, it's real nutso. And his hammer is actually made from the same metal, the mystic metal that Mjolnir is made. Sorry, man, I ain't no Viking, you know, it's a little hard to pronounce it. But anyways, he was chosen. They made him worthy. And the interesting thing is that when he hits the hammer, it turns into a cane and he turns back into his cyborg form. Now, back in the day, Thor used to switch back and forth into a human disguise. And he would hit the ground and his hammer would turn into a cane. And he'd become Donald Blake, a doctor. And it's kind of complicated because that's his human avatar. Like later on, they explained that all the gods die, but they resurrect in avatars. Odin just kind of combined him with his, you know, like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. And then when Thor's soul was captured by Mephisto, he got tricked into killing Loki, or sort of killing him, and then he got punished, and his soul got sent to hell. And that's when his human person became Thor for a while. Like I said, it's real confusing. But Beta Ray Bill has kind of been Thor's friend, his ally through it. And he is an interesting character. As you can see, very different. Without further ado, let's pop it open now. Alright. And like I said, the box gives you the first appearance. And all these guys, all of them. That's what I love about the Marvels, the bobbleheads. The DC ones, not so much, some of the other ones. But I think this is so cool. Check out the hammer. Stormbreaker. I like the effects. It's cool how Funko has been adding these little things here and there. They've been getting really detailed. And this was just a great example of how Funko's been stepping up its game. And this is just a cool toy to have. If you listen to my show, which only a few people have, you know that I like exotic alternate versions of things. You know, like I'm a big Joe Fixit fan. It's a great Hulk. Look it up. You know, like I like different stuff like that. I think it's cool. Like I read the old Guardians of the Galaxy with a Vince Astro in it, if you know what I'm saying. Back in the day, you know, before Groot and all that other stuff, you know, Excalibur, all that stuff, you know. I enjoy it. But this is a great toy. And as you can see, he's also decked out in Thor's uniform. Seems to be like the status, you know. And Beta Ray Bill may be appearing in the Disney series. I mean, they've been bringing everyone in. It would be interesting to see him in some kind of capacity, since they seem to be getting rid of the main Marvel characters like Iron Man, Captain America. You know how long the actor that plays Thor will actually want to be Thor. So they're kind of like changing it around a bit. And I know they're doing a Love and Thunder where Natalie Portman might, well, spoilers, might get the hammer or become female Thor. So it's really open that we might see Beta Ray Bill sooner or later. Maybe in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie they're making with Thor. That'd be sweet. It'd be interesting. And yeah, this guy's a little serious, you know. He's a little uptight. But yeah, he was obviously worthy to lift the hammer. And he's been a big ball in his shot calling across the universe ever since. He's kind of like the universal Thor. You know what I mean? Thor often stays on Earth, Midgard, and hardly like space travels or, you know, like goes out and does stuff. Beta Ray Bill is a citizen of the universe. You know what I mean? He's traveled. And I think that's an interesting thing about him. And that could lead to a mini-series, maybe a series, I don't know. Could be interesting. I do love when they pull characters out that are popular but never really had a chance and kind of maybe spotlight them like they do with Moonlight, She-Hulk. I just hope that it doesn't like run its course like Cloak and Dagger. That was kind of an show. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll come in, maybe or not. And maybe Don Cheadle ought to get his own movie since War Machine's badass and so is Don Cheadle. I'm going to say that every time. Don Cheadle, you deserve a War Machine movie. Appearance, something. Maybe with Beta Ray Bill. Some kind of out there Space Avengers. Sword, bring back Sword. You don't know what that is? Look it up. But like I said, this is a very cool toy. It stands up nice. I love the hammer. I love the effects. I mean, it's just decked out classic Thor. And this is basically his look from the 70s and 80s. And like I said, it's real detailed. You gotta love this toy. Funko did it again. I love the bobblehead and the helmet. And as always, you know, I like exotic stuff. I like exotic Funkos. And like I said, Beta Ray Bill has made appearances here and there. You know, like I said, he's most famous for getting beat up in Planet Hulk, which is kind of worth checking out, you know. Like I said, he's been in the Avengers cartoons. So he's been appearing here and there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they actually bring him in, you know, as sort of a new Avenger or a cosmic Avenger or something like that. Plus, you gotta love the axe. I know Thor kind of, from the movies, you know, kind of takes his axe from that axe. You know, it kind of looks the same. But I'm sure they could do something or change it or move something around. You know, this is a Marvel we're talking about. You know, not everything stays the same, if you know what I mean. But anyways, this is my review of Funko Beta Ray Bill. Very cool toy. Very happy to have it. And we will be opening more Funkos as always. And I'm the Comic Outlaw. And me, on behalf of me, Beta Ray Bill, the Thor Corpse, We will catch you on the flip side.